Welcome back to another episode of Mr. Pierre eating ramen. Stay tuned in because the rest of this episode we'll be eating a $50 ramen, a $100 ramen, and a $1 million ramen.
Ramen, the great equalizer. From the richest towns in Japan to the poorest prison in America, ramen is respected by all. You're a burnout salaryman who doesn't want to cook?
Yes.
Ramen. You're a prisoner trying to get someone shanked? Ramen. You're an angsty white teen trying to convince your mom to try something exotic for once, but you won't do raw fish? Ramen. You're a beloved 90s video game character with no limbs? Ramen. Ramens come in all shapes, forms, or packagings. There's instant ramen, there's ramen carbonara, there's ramen chips, there's ramen burgers, there's authentic ramen. But today we're gonna try a few different types and we're gonna try to answer two main questions. First of all, what makes good ramen? Second, what makes ramen good? Right, today we are joined by...
NordVPN.
Alright, today we are joined by Tim. Can you just introduce yourself and tell us what are your credentials to be a ramen judge?
I really like instant ramen. Sometimes if there's a ramen I really like, I'd take the flavor packets and I'd sniff that shit up like crack, man. And I'd just like discard the rest of the noodles. But yeah, those are my credentials, I guess.
That's valid. So today, to really test the theory, we're gonna start with the bottom of the ladder.
The bottom ramen instead of top ramen.
Yeah, we're gonna start with bottom ramen instead of top ramen. So we have in front of us two very basic ramen. Bottom of the ladder doesn't mean it's bad. So this one, the big cup noodle, well, it's cup noodle. It's the most basic one. It's the most iconic instant ramen, I'd say. I got the big cup noodle instead of the cup noodle for absolutely no reason. It doesn't change the taste. I think the regular one might be like around 230 yen. This one is about 280 yen maybe.
So it's 100 if you get it from the vending machine.
Also, the claw machine.
Alright, cut.
If you get it from the claw machine, it's 100 yen and gambling addiction. This one, I'll double check and I'll write the price down, but I'm pretty sure it's around 500 something yen. Probably like 550 yen. So yeah, how this one works, well, we'll open it up in a few minutes, but how this one works is they have all the toppings and the noodles in a separate bowl on top. You put all of it in the microwave and then you remove the lid on top with the toppings, and underneath you have the broth and you just put the things in it. Pretty simple. And the point is that you have microwaves in the convenience, so you can just grab that, microwave it on the spot, eat it, and then leave the convenience. Let's dig in. I'd say cup noodles, even compared to like Top Ramen or Mr. Noodles, their noodles are pretty good. Like they're pretty chewy, pretty bouncy.
Cup noodles. Wait, sorry, I was so busy eating I didn't hear what you said. The cup noodles like a pioneer in its food. It's a pioneer in its field, Jesus Christ. Because like, I'm pretty sure like they developed technology to make it so that like the noodles doesn't touch the bottom of the cup. So that like the way that like you pour hot water in, like makes everything like cook more effectively. You know what I mean? In the Japanese noodle culture, you're supposed to slurp your noodles.
Yeah.
Because it means that you enjoy them more. Yeah. So myself so far. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean it's cup noodle. I feel like the soup. It's like tastes kind of like beef, right? Yeah. So I do think I like it better than the chicken soup cup noodle. Because it does like give like more like rich flavor, you know. And also like compared to the last time I had cup noodles, like the ingredients that aren't noodles definitely taste better. I think the meat and shrimp are like taste like more like less processed, more like meaty and shrimpy. All good. obviously like the noodles are like a trademark of the cup noodle brand. They're very like springy. They're very like thin in your mouth, and like they feel quite good to like slurp up, you know. So it is quite fun to eat these cup noodles. Obviously, it is instant ramen. You're not gonna be able to escape that instant ramen like taste. Like the kind of like cheaper, like more like yeah, like taste. But I mean, I'm not unimpressed.
Right off the bat, the smell is way better than most instant noodles. It smells like the broth's less. I don't know if it is, but it smells like the broth is less salty or like less intense and more like on the light side.
Wait, not that part. Wait, what instant noodles are we comparing it to? I wanna watch it.
Mr. Noodle.
Okay.
Yeah, as you said, the noodles are very, iconic of cup noodle. They're very different from most instant noodles, and you get actual chunks of eggs, shrimp, and beef. So I think overall it's a more endurable experience than most instant noodles. But at the end of the day, it is still instant ramen. It's not anywhere near regular ramen, if you will. Not that it's not as good, it's just like the broth is a different thing. It's an instant broth. It's not bone broth. It's not going to be creamy. It's not going to be thick. It's not going to be as rich. It's going to be more on the salty and artificial side. Alright, how does this work? So we take this top off. How do I just
end it.
Yeah. Alright, as I'm mixing it up, one thing I will say is that from the shot of it, you might have seen the slices of char siu, which look great for something that you buy in the conveni, but in reality they are like way thinner than you would get at a ramen place, right? They're like about the thickness of a slice of ham. At an actual ramen place, you would get thicker, maybe like half an inch or quarter of an inch rather, thick char siu.
So right off the bat, I feel like the type of noodle is very different from that of the cup noodle. It's not springy. It's also like a bit like thicker and wider. And it's like it's not as it's not as whimsical or like a fun experience as the cup noodles. It's like okay, it's a noodle. The char siu is good. I like the char siu. It's not like as tender, but like the flavor is like not accented as you would find in a real ramen place. But you have to keep in mind that this is ramen you buy from like the refrigerator at a convenience. I do feel like the noodles, they lack the youthful whimsy of the cup noodles. They lack the springiness of your mouth. It's just not as fun to eat as a cup noodle, you know.
I would say the noodles are kind of like overcooked spaghetti.
I was gonna say that it's like spaghetti.
By the process from which they're made, cup noodles, as we already said many times, are always bouncy. They have a chewiness. And on the other end of the spectrum, when you get actual ramen, the noodles are supposed to have some springiness, some bounciness. And this is in the middle, and it has none of the none of the like artificial process of cup noodle, but it also has none of like the handcrafted or whatever handmade process of proper ramen. So it's just in the middle with no bounciness. You could just overcook spaghetti and it would be exactly like that. When you make ramen noodle, you're supposed to use I'm not sure about what I'm saying, but it's something like you're supposed to bake baking soda and then use it in your dough. Yeah, you're supposed to bake baking soda and use it in your dough to give it an alkaline flavor. And even though you don't get that in cup noodles all the time or in instant ramen, you get their own thing. Whereas this, is trying to be actual ramen but doesn't have that quality. And the broth is also, once again, it's in the middle where it's not an actual broth that takes hours to make and is very rich and very creamy. On the other side, it's not like a cup noodle broth where it just accepts that it's artificial and it just blasts you with MSG and salt and all that, right? It tastes like almost watered down soy sauce or something in that area. This is somehow, even though you get actual meat, which is great for a convenience store meal, right? You get actual meat that won't make you sick like most convenience stores in America. No offense. But I would say that this somehow is more of a depression meal than cup noodles.
You know what you're saying earlier about like the MSG and salt in the cup noodles?
Mm.
I feel like I'd rather be like assaulted by like a shameless attempt of just like declaring a siege on your taste buds. That is like cup noodles. There's like all these additives and flavorings. I'd rather have that than kind of like the median of like quality ramen that's like completely like common ramen, which is that I do like the cheap, like the shamelessly cheap taste of cup ramen.
Yeah.
Alright. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, remember to drop a like, a comment, and a subscribe.
Once again, that's not how the video ends.
This video was brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
I wish.
And NordVPN. And Honey.
I will be bleeping, especially not. I will be bleeping of that because we are not doing free promo. They better pay for it. So, instant ramen was invented in 1952. As some of you might know, and I think Tim, you might know, but it has been voted the best invention of the 20th century by Japanese people.
I don't know that.
Not the best invention by Japanese people. The Japanese people have voted this as their best invention of the 20th century. And let's be fair, they invented a lot of things in the 20th century, but they still voted cup noodle as being the best.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, if we take this aside for a second and we just talk about the cup noodle, we agree that cup noodle and instant ramen is like, it's bottom of the barrel stuff. It's very cheap, it's very easy, it's all of that. Why is it still so good? Why is it that even in that form we enjoy ramen so much?
Damn, the Japanese voted cup noodles over the invention of my boy Pure Sen in 1999. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not a Japanese invention.
Isn't it precisely because of the fact that cup noodles is like very like processed, it's very like condensed, that it serves a purpose of being like a food that can be like saved for emergencies or like eaten like while you're in a rush, while at the same time maintaining a semblance of like the rich tradition of ramen and noodle-based foods like throughout history. I think that like, I don't know about you, but like cup noodles like would be my favorite like emergency like ration. I don't really like. I feel like I wouldn't really want to eat like any other kind of like MRE or like that kind of thing if like cup noodles are available. And I feel like the way in which cup noodles like they have like really broad like mass appeal. And I feel like the way that that's marketed like kind of like shows the way in which cup noodles is like. It serves like many different purposes, right? Like, I don't know. Sorry,
Bros just yapping.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of is what most people are looking for on a, almost on a biological level. It just hits those, it just gives you that boost of dopamine because you get your carbs, you get your salt, you get your fat. So I think originally, when it was invented, ramen was a good meal to sustain people through the winter or through, harsher period of times. And I think that cup noodles just still stimulates all those same. It just feels all those same.
I feel so stimulating.
Yeah, same. Next, we'll hit up a spot not far from here that is. How am I gonna do this?
A wall in the hole.
A wall in the hole, yeah. Next, we're gonna hit a spot not far from here that only opens up at night. And night, winter, and rainy days or like snowy days like we have right now are the 3 perfect conditions for ramen, I think. So should be good. We'll see you there.
Yo, そうだね。
油そばを注文すると、チャーシューがバーナーで焦げ目を使って
They said when you order the abara soba, the oil soba, the way that the chashu or the pork slice is cooked, like really like draws out the fragrance of the meat. And he felt that like the way that the fish powder was implemented into the stock of the soup does just as well as the main story in Sakata. So that's what he said. Yeah.
Okay. And what did you think of your ramen?
I thought that. So this is not my first time eating Niboshi ramen, but I do think that like Niboshi ramen is like very compelling for someone who hasn't been raised in Japan, due to the fact that it's fish-based stock. Draws a clear distinction between it and like the other pork bone-based or like soy sauce and salt-based soups. So I'm really glad that I came here. It's a really nice place. The chashu is really good. Like I agree. Like the chashu is so good. It kind of like melted in your mouth. Like the way like the texture, like it was cooked, it was really good. Yeah, cool.
Right. Good. So we're gonna go try another special spot. I'll tell you a little bit more about it when we get in the car. We've got some people to pick up. Alright, so our next location is called Kanpiraso, and it's a restaurant that is apparently famous throughout Japan, and so people from all over North Japan will come to eat there, which also means that there can be terrible queues. They put out the ticket machine at 8 a.m. even though they only open at 11:30. And so I went there once, and the friend I went with went to get a ticket at 8 a.m. and got the number 72. Just to give you an idea, that means there were 71 people in front of him waiting to get a ticket at 8 a.m. I think that was during their busy season, so it's not going to be as much of a problem for us, but I did wake up very early today so I could drive all the way there. It's by the beach, and last time I went, people were getting their ticket and some of them were waiting inside because it's an old inn, literally sleeping on the floor waiting for their turn. But we won't have to do that because I got the ticket early, went back home, and now I picked up the boys and we're on our way to try it. What are we thinking?
The quality of the chashu, the menma, and the green onions, is like honestly like really good. Like maybe like the best that I've had so far in my 6 months in Japan. Just like those 3 ingredients by themselves, like they create like a beautiful cacophony in your mouth that I think is very enjoyable.
And just for the, I know you explained it to me already, but what's menma?
So menma is the bamboo shoots that are already in online. It's like yeah.
Yeah, I have.
They're like the bamboo shoots. And like do a really good job of like absorbing like the soup. So it has like it's kind of like soaked in the flavor of the ramen. And when you eat it with the chashu and the green onions, it's like really good. So yeah.
And as the resin ramen.
It's kind of, it's plain old ramen, I think. I got a fairly delicate I got the lighter broth, and I think they do a good job. It's full in flavor, but feels pretty delicate.
Do you guys know about kaidama? Can you explain what kaidama is?
So you can choose to get more noodles once you finish your noodles.
It's super cheap. It's just like 100 yen.
Are you guys gonna do it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm practicing moderation.
Anyway, we just ordered the kaidama hantama, which is like the replacement noodles, but only half. And yeah, let's eat some noodles. So these are like noticeably chewier than the noodles that came in before. I think I like these better, honestly. And remember, guys, the Pierre Sen channel is doing a giveaway where one subscriber will get an all-expenses paid trip to Japan. So in order to get entered into this giveaway, remember to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll pick one winner within 24 hours of uploading the video.
You? Oh. A what? I don't know what that is. You what? Sure. Oops, sorry. Alright, Tim's, any final thoughts on Conspiraso?
Yeah, so Conspiraso, so it's really good ramen at a really good location. If you ever find yourself in like Tsuruoka, Yamagata, I recommend taking a visit here.
Alright.
So that's it. Remember to like, subscribe, follow for more content like this. Peace.
I'll give it to you. You're at least closer to the end of the video than last time.
Let's
so
go.
It was alright.
honestly, I think that's also my opinion. I think it was good. Maybe I just don't know how to differentiate like very good ramen from good ramen. It's good. I just don't understand why people will queue for hours. I would never queue for more than 20 minutes for food in general. So maybe that's just a me thing. And also in Japan, they love to queue for food, so it's also a them thing. But yeah, pretty good. And Tim, overall, with the ramen journey being done, what are your thoughts? And what's your answer to the question, what makes good ramen? So like, why is this one better than the one we had, or better or not better than the one we had at the night shop, and why is it better than like instant ramen and all that?
Yeah, so I don't know, I feel like the setting of the place and like where you have to go, what you have to do to get the ramen, like actually kind of makes a difference. Cause like I also really liked the Nyoshiro Ibuki, because like the vibe of like a night store, like something that's only open only during night, and also like the vibes are also like really lit. But yeah, I also really like eating here, like Konpiraso, like you get the view, like see outside while eating ramen. But overall, I would say that ramen, it's It's very central to the Japanese culture, as evidenced by how many people just like line up to eat here. Yeah, like ramen is really good.
With him that the setting is important. I think both places we went had really good setting. One is the night ramen and it was cold and it was raining, and then we got here and it's a very cold day, but we're also like next to the beach and it snowed a little bit. It's very much like a good day to get ramen. And I guess my plan at first was to find like a ramen place that had like a, I don't know, $50 ramen or something, but it's not really a thing around here, at least. Ramen is almost always cheap or like
There's
affordable.
a ramen rule. Is it what it's like
Yeah.
called the law of ramen or
It's
something?
like a wall. We're not supposed to go over
Yeah,
it.
the wall. It has to be cheaper than 1,000 yen.
Yeah, that's why it's like the problem with like good prices I think is like so big, because like many ramen shops like have to like go over 1,000 yen or else like they face bankruptcy. But like there's like a stigma like in the public perception of ramen of like it's not supposed to go over 1,000 yen.
I think then what makes like the difference is how much like effort is put into it. And the thing is, you'll find that when you go to a ramen shop in Japan, odds are a lot of effort has been put into it. If you go to a more like authentic shop, I would say rather than like a chain or something. But yeah, I think that was it for the ramen video. Thank you guys.
Alright, like, comment,
Bye-bye.
let's go.
You wavy for real.
My butt feels so good.
Your dongers. Or was it raise your dongers?
What? Your dongers?
Yeah.
What?
Raise your ya-ya-yas.